I didn't hustle. I didn't post to social media on a daily basis. And I didn't cold pitch a single person. But in just 30 days, my visibility grew exponentially. I got aligned opportunities, invitations, and clients. And it all started with just one thing: following my human design strategy. And honestly, that felt almost unbelievable at first because I'd actually spent years thinking that the only way to succeed in business was to push harder, to show up more, and to hustle for every opportunity. But human design showed me a completely different way of doing business and attracting aligned invitations. In human design, every energy type has kind of like a built-in strategy. It's not like a marketing tactic or business tactic. It's an energetic way that you connect with the flow of your life. And you kind of like connect and align with your true self instead of forcing things to happen, instead of always having resistance to things. As a human design projector, my strategy is to wait for the invitation. And I know that sounds super, super passive. And it sounds like I'm supposed to just like sit around and just like wait until somebody notices me. But actually, it's kind of the opposite of that. It's actually quite an active strategy. So waiting for the invitation is about aligning my energy, my wisdom, and just becoming really visible, and also creating a little bit of intrigue and magnetism so that those who are ready to see my brilliance, they will recognize me and they'll see me and they'll invite me. And I get invited into wonderful, wonderful opportunities. So when I decided to run this experiment, I just wanted to know what was going to happen if I followed my strategy on purpose for 30 days instead of the hustle, instead of the cold DMs and all of that stuff as well. So first of all, the reason why I did this is because I wanted to see if alignment itself could actually be a visibility strategy. I've actually been using the human design system for nearly 5 years now, and it has honestly and truly completely changed my life. And, human design experts like myself, we always say, well, you need to return back to your strategy, your authority within human design. This is your natural decision-making process. And when you return to your strategy and your authority, life flows with a lot more ease for you. That's kind of like the pillar of human design. But I really wasn't sure how it was going to hold up in the business world, where everything is about that hustling. It's about the initiating. It's about putting your hand up to say that you wanted to do something or be involved with something. Before I found human design, though, I was a marketing coach and I was posting on social media inconsistently. I was just, like pushing out content when the energy behind it really wasn't there. And my business wasn't working. And it wasn't working because clients just weren't coming in, right? Clients just weren't recognizing me and inviting me. But I also noticed something else as well. In a lot of like spiritual or like female entrepreneur groups, whenever somebody shared that they were, working on something or they were struggling with something, I found that loads of people come in and just like rush to give advice. And I actually decided that I was going to do the opposite. I was going to hold back. I was going to wait to be recognized. And actually, you might think to yourself, if you are a projector as well, or, if you're another type that you kind of really resonate with this, I kind of figured that if I didn't say anything, then, well, that's it. Like, I don't have a voice in this conversation. And actually, the opposite thing happened. Like, if you wait, sometimes, most of the time for me personally, I had someone say, hey, Charlie, what do you think? And then I was invited into the conversation. And guess what? When I was invited into the conversation, it was a lot more powerful what I did actually end up saying, because as a projector, it's really important for me to come in with a very potent question, rather than blaring with lots of advice. Oh, you should do this and you should do that. I'll come in with one potent question and it will change things for people. And this strategy actually helped me to honor my energy as well, because as a non-sacral being, it allowed me to form deeper connections with the people that I was, advising or helping out. And that really helped me because I could sit back and wait. Because if I'd just gone in and tried to be like everybody else and tried to help them out, then my voice would just get mixed up with everybody else's. And yet when I waited, I stood back and brought a very potent question to the conversation. So I started to make a few very intentional changes. That was one of them. Whenever I went into networking groups, I would always make sure that I wouldn't give unsolicited advice, and I would listen, I would ask questions, and then wait to be invited deeper. And it really works, I promise you. I also said yes only to collaborations that felt actually truly aligned. When I first started my business, I was going on a lot of podcasts and I was just trying to tell everybody and anyone who would listen to me about human design and how amazing that was. And also how life-changing it has been for me. But actually now I know that these weren't the right platforms for me to be on, because they just weren't the right people that were listening to me. And now I only go on podcasts or have guest speaking opportunities where the audience is really aligned to me. The audience really understands what I'm talking about when I share my genius with them. And that again helps me to align my energy only to the people that have recognized and invited me, rather than just being everywhere on every single podcast. I also, on social media, I started actually sharing some of those invitations that I had received. So I talked a lot about my testimonials and shared stories of my clients. I put screenshots up of, what my clients have sent me. And I was really sharing the way that I was able to impact those people that were really aligned to me, that had already recognized me. And what happened next, after I started to piece these few things together and I started really using my human design strategy, was absolutely incredible. So by week 3, I started noticing a really big shift. So more people were booking coffee chats with me, and my conversion rates were a lot higher. In fact, in one week, I had a 100% conversion rate, which was just amazing. There was other things that came in as well. I had an unexpected client referral just completely showed up and converted as well. That doesn't usually happen with me. And not only that, but just people were reaching out to me, people that I'd spoken to before, and they'd said maybe not yet, but they reached out to me and said, I've been thinking about you, I think I'm ready to book. And when this kind of all came together, by the end of my 30-day experiment with my human design strategy, I realized that, alignment really was the key to success. And, you could say that this was all random, but they weren't, because they were a response to my energetic clarity. It's not a response to how many posts that I was putting out there or how much energy that I had to give people advice in networking events, etc. It was literally a response to my energetic alignment. So here's what I learned. Visibility does not come from volume. Okay, so don't think that you have to post every single day on all the different social media platforms. It doesn't also come from being high vibe. I'm not one of those, let's turn up the jazz hands and all that sort of stuff, dancing on TikTok reels. Clients don't come from that. Clients come from being emotionally resonating with you. And when you speak to their soul and they resonate with that, they just move towards you. And I think one of the most important things of all of this that I learned is how important it is for projectors specifically to be very in tune with your nervous system, and just to make sure that you just stay calm, you stay aligned, and you don't have this desperate energy of where am I going to get my next client from next. So here I am today telling you guys all about this. And I just want to make it clear that I still do not post on social media every day. I still do not hustle. I still do not cold DM. And I still do not do anything at all in my business that feels completely out of alignment, that is part of our capitalist, business society. And what I do is I resonate with the soul of my soul aligned clients, and things just happen. So now that you know what happened when you align to your human design and your strategy specifically, I want to show you how I made sure that when people found me, my message resonated deeply and connected deeply with those people. And this means that the invitations keep flowing. So I want you to head over to the next video. It's called Crickets to Clients. And this is where I break down exactly how I use market research. Yes, I know, bit of a yucky word, but I used it to rewrite my messaging and attract more soul aligned clients. Tap here to watch that next.